The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one. At this point in the game, and the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Now an option play on second down. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. He had the option there, decided to keep it, exposed himself and fumbled it.
Yeah, and you worry about the hits he's going to take in that situation. In this case, not only does he take the hit, he coughs the ball up, as you noted.
Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half.
Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
A good pick up there of 20 yards.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
They go play fake. Mahomes. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Tyler Lockett, 26 yards. And the Bucs are able to capitalize on the forced fumble by turning it into 6 points.
I tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you. No question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Short throw underneath to Hurst. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Akeem Hicks able to get him for a loss of about 3.
Some quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session maybe a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
Oh, one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And they will take over with a football just outside of the 10 at the 12-yard line. A defensive-minded coach loves to bring the heat, brought the heat there, and it worked out.
And nowadays, all those defensive-minded coaches, for them, it's all about getting the football. I went into one facility, and as soon as you walked into the defensive room, there was a football, like on a spring, and each guy that walks in that plays has to act like he's knocking the ball free. They want those instincts created. They want them to think about that all the time, and that's what they try to preach.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Now Cook running right. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Second down, they go right back to Cook.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown.
Dalvin Cook, his 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bucs take the forced fumble and convert it into 6 points. So his great start to the season continues. He found the end zone time after time in the opener last week, and he does it again here in week 2.
And Brandon, we have a lot of coaches sell us week to week that there is no momentum, there is no carryover. Every game is its own entity. But after what we saw him do last week and now punching one in here, I'm starting to think that there is a carryover, and he's feeling it.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now, get some points on this drive.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
To throw is Jackson.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest differences. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And that will set him up in excellent shape. 1st and goal at the 9-yard line. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right, so if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. They'll run with Cook. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Dalvin Cook with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Buccaneers get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Carlson now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. A nice tiny little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position
kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now,
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And a tough turnover there, as now they will have it at the 6-yard line, first and goal. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Dalvin Cook, a dynamo since the break, 3 third-quarter touchdowns. And the Buccaneers are able to capitalize on the forced fumble by turning it into 6 points. Carlson on for the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. They got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hand.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, obviously searching for their first touchdown this game, partner. And that quick 3 and out, that's not going to achieve that at all. Give victory to the secondary there. They brought out tight coverage on that third down snap.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Now that's taken on his own 46. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. They run the counter with Cook. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Dalvin Cook, 42 yards. And the Buccaneers are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Carlson now to add the extra point.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Just what silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run. With a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something out on the board and not get shut out.
And this offense on third down today, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 33 yards that time.
Well, that's something you haven't had to talk about much this game. A nice big play right there. But this team, overall, they haven't done a whole lot offensively.
Well, they're still sitting on the goose egg. We talk about defenses having pride in a shutout. This offense wants to get rid of that. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble. That could have been trouble.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, it's Jackson. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
Well, it's obvious, but I can't help but say it here. It's never a good day when the opposing defense has more sacks than you have points. The win seems likely, but this defense is still playing for something here. They see that 0 on the scoreboard, and they don't want that to change.
This is taken at the 18. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the job.
And shutting him off now, open field. And he takes this all the way down to the Bears' 17-yard line. 161 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's brought down, but not before a really nice stiff arm to create a little space. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Cook up the gut. Oh, nice move. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Carlson on for the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Chicago offense set to get started. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Throwing is Jackson. And his throw here is incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Jackson now. And that will be incomplete as well. It just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
A very good return that time. 18 yards.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field.
Well, CD, you and I do a lot of games together, but it is pretty rare that we do a game of this margin. I mean, this has just been total domination from start until now, and I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas at this point.
Do you think that on the sideline, some jokester said to one of his teammates, maybe a few of them, hey, we're up 50. Why not go for 100? You think maybe that line was uttered on the sideline? I can't believe what we're seeing here. An NFL game this lopsided.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So again from the 39, this time from the other side of the field. Here's 1st and 10. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. Fights through and now a crease. He's still on his feet. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Boy, missed tackles continuing to plague this defense, and they surrender another big play and a touchdown here.
Yeah, by my count, at least 2 guys had shots at it, maybe even more than that. But this defense, they've looked out of sorts all game long. That was definitely not one of their better efforts right there.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. It only took them 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting them in for 6 points. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. Partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and then trying to hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense through the shutout, Adam. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So